Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. And we're going to go over the development notes for JP/Korea. Now, I like to go over the development notes because they do give you an insight on what's going to come to global. And it is nice to know ahead of time so that way we can prepare. But yeah, these development notes, they're actually pretty nice. Some of it is a little iffy, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so shout outs to Korean Jesus for giving us these translations. He got this from the Korean side of the development notes because JP actually didn't put it out like right away. That was kind of strange. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and read them. I don't know how long this video will be. Shouldn't be super long because the development notes aren't that long. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get into it. So yeah, we got item probabilities for the number 1. Now, this is probably due to the new law. I didn't know anything about a new law, so yeah, all game companies are facing recently, and it's due to item probabilities and how they hide them. So I'm assuming with this new law, it's kind of like summon rates on a banner. You have to show the probability of the chances to get said substat draws and whatever. So they will reveal the drops and probabilities of item substats. So yeah, they're gonna reveal how likely it is to get a certain substat, like attack, crit damage, pierce rate, crit chance. They're gonna actually show you the percentage, so that's really nice. I guess since they are really hammering down on the laws of gacha games, they have to do this. So I mean, it's cool that they're showing us, but I mean, it is what it is when it comes to gacha games, quote unquote gambling for, America and the West. So yeah, it does suck, but yeah, it is nice that they're going to show up the drops though, right? So the drops are all equally appear to be 25%. Okay. And when you re-roll the substat, it is also equally 25%. So the probability of getting 1% through 3% health substat is also has equal. I don't know what that means, but that's fine, right? That's fine. Hammers are 90% chance for a regular success and 10% for a super success. Okay, so that's really sweet because hammers now are 100% guaranteed, right? Even on global, we just got that update. They're 100% guaranteed not to fail, so there's actually no way you can fail a hammer. But now it says you have a 10% chance at a super success, which is low, but I mean, it's nice that they're showing us the percentage of how we actually get the hammers to work and the substats. So it's very, very nice. But that's cool, right? Item probabilities. So that's really sweet for a quality of life update that is going to show us the percentages of substats and hammers. So very, very cool there. But that's it for the item probabilities. So let's move on to the passive. Now this is where it gets iffy, right? So the passives are, we know that there's some of them are cut and dry, like some do not work on the back and some only work when you appear in battle. But this is saying that there is some obscurities in the way passive work as subs without detailing that it works as subs. So for example, Halloween Master Meliodas, they're saying this works in the back, which is not true because sometimes it's broken a language barrier, right? So rough translations. This may just be that they're saying, since it's saying some obscurities in the way passive works as subs without saying that it works as subs. They could just be saying this doesn't work as a sub, right? This doesn't work as a sub, so you can't run them in the back. And then same thing with Mikasa. That's pretty much what I'm getting from it. A lot of people are saying that they work in the back. I don't think that's what they meant. I actually don't think that's what they meant. They just mean that because it doesn't say appears when entering battle, it won't it'll work in the back. They're trying to say, like, it's not gonna work in the back, right? Even though it doesn't say applies when entering battle, it's still not gonna work in the back. You need them to be frontline units for their passives to proc, which makes sense, right? Unless they actually just completely lied or something like that, but I don't think they did. I actually think they meant it that those passives won't work in the back. So yeah, I never thought they would work in the back, and you know, that's probably what they mean. So yeah, so these 3 passes, for example, won't work in the back. But let's move on to number 3, which is Guild Wars. I don't play Guild Wars, so I don't really care about that, but some people might care about it, right? So talking about Guild Wars, there are many problems with it, which I didn't know. The seating system was not enough, so they plan to introduce rules. Nice. All right. Also, plan to introduce rules in order to get ranks in Guild. Okay. So, you know, these rules will give you ranks, or that's what I'm getting from it. And this was done previously by donating raid materials in guild bosses. Okay. And they are also changing the rules of matchmaking, so they ask for your patience. All right. So basically, they're just trying to update the Guild Wars system, trying to make it a little bit more fair, is what I'm getting from it. So yeah, if you play Guild Wars, there you go. Global will be getting this sometime in the future, so they will be changing Guild Wars. So that's very, very nice. Now, this is the big one, right? Number 4, new updates and content. Now, you guys know it's no secret that Grand Cross is a little dead. A lot of people like to get on me when I say that, but it's true. We barely have content. All the content we have in the game is either reoccurring content or it's just not, you know, fun. Grand Cross is a PvP based game. I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not trying to take it away, but you do need PvE content if you want a game to stay alive. Even if it's based off PvP, you still need some type of PvE content, because not everyone enjoys PvP. That's just how it is. So what they're doing is they're trying to like revamp the content, not add content, but revamp it. So it says, we are trying to not create new content. It literally says they are not trying to create content, right? New content, as it may cause quote unquote homework for players, causing more fatigue. Therefore, we are trying to thread carefully. Now, I don't agree with that. I really think they should add new content, something like Dokkan Battle Super Battle Road. That's what I really want them to add. But I feel like the fact that they said it may cause quote unquote homework, it's kind of dumb. Of course, every content that you have is going to be homework, right? It's going to cause fatigue in some way, but you don't want to not create content and update previous content all the time. That's not fun. That's going to cause it to become stale and boring, right? Let's say they update the boss battles that we get. They update that. That's kind of boring because we already know boss battles, right? You can add difficulty to it, but it's still the same thing. What they need to do is add content. I don't know why they would say that. I understand they're not trying to cause fatigue for the player base, but I know a lot of people would prefer brand new content rather than updating existing ones, because that's what they've been doing so far, right? So it says, we plan to bring new and existing content with a clear purpose, like the Tower of Challenge, which is the Tower of Trials, right? With growth items to make it more enjoyable. Now, I can get behind that. The Tower of Trials was very, very good, right? That was a very, very good new piece of content that they added way back when it started. However, that's not enough to hold us over. If they're only going to update it every month, that's not enough. Now, I agree, Tower of Trials is very fun, but if only update it like every month, what's the point? Like, it's not really gonna hold us over and make much of a difference. Now, I would say that if they do decide to make a new mode like Tower of Trials, which they are gonna do, which we'll get to, right? And then we'll get to this part as well. But yeah, so Tower of Trials definitely is fun, and they can update it, but we also need new content, right? We also need more content. And then for Guild Boss, they are rolling out a new Guild Boss after Akumu. We'll see what that is. Global, or not global, JP Korean players, there you go. Be hyped for that. Global, prepare, because we're getting a new Guild Boss sooner or later, right? And then it also says, we are also working on the new Tower of Challenge. So basically, they're gonna just make a whole new Tower Challenge, or Tower Trials, right? We are changing from farming to a more challenging content the higher you go in the tower, where if you don't know how to deal with the target, you cannot clear the floor. I can get behind that. Tower of Trials right now is something like that, but yeah, they're right. It is more so for farming materials, because it is a good way to get, you know, a lot of items for basically free, right? It is a good way to get a lot of gems, super wicked coins, you know, enhancement materials, stuff like that. But what they're trying to do now is provide a more challenging content, which I can get behind, but don't make the rewards minuscule. Make them even higher, like make them better, make them like 15 super awakening coins, make them like 40 gems, make it like 2 part 2 tickets or something like that. Make it enticing, make it something that the players want to come back to, like draw their attention, right? That's what I'm saying that they should do for if they're working on the new Tower Trials. But yeah, something like that would be nice. And then in return, we plan to introduce ways to obtain super awakening coins and other materials from other dungeons in the future, which is very nice. That's always cool, right? Now the big one, character growth. Now I know a lot of people want more character growth, myself included. So that's what they plan to do in the future. Now it's been 9 months since the awakening of the last super awakening. So basically what they mean is the you know, the red stars, right? And many players are stuck at the limit of the growth. We have no way to increase our characters, you know, level, stars, etc, etc. But there are 150 characters in the game, so we are being careful. Therefore, as talked in the last dev notes, Hero War update question mark, that's, you know, Korean Jesus' own input. We plan to add new growth additionally during the new content. We will talk about the content in the near future. Now, this is good. They are doing it carefully, because if they just completely put out new content, right, and they just said, here you go, a new update for the characters, that's a lot. That is a lot. That's what I was worried about, because they did that with Super Awakening and it was kind of like, wow. But this time they're thinking about it more carefully. They're not trying to bombard us with a whole 150 character. Now we have to find out, you know, take our time getting everyone to, assuming they do like level 90/100, we have to figure out how to get all 150 characters there. That's a lot. That is a lot. But yeah, so character growth is coming. I hope that with the character growth, they do revamp old units, such as like Green Captain Meliodas. Like when you get him to 90, one of his skills get amped up or something like that, or his passive changes slightly. We'll see. Or, you know, changes his base substats. We'll see. But yeah, I am excited to see what they do for character growth. And then these are just minor game improvements. So like quality of life updates, even though the whole thing was, but this is just like, you know, game improvements. Info on item acquisition, introduce more guidance on how to get awakening materials, which is really cool. I like that. Changes to the PvP store. We will configure the item values. Okay. Costume sales. Ooh, okay. We plan on expanding the costume roster, where you cannot purchase some of the costumes before. Okay, nice. Addition of AI in hell mode. So that's very nice. And that's pretty much the end of it. So we have a good amount of things for the dev notes and nice stuff overall. I do like the way they're going about it. I think the content part, a little iffy. I think they could add new content, not just update existing content, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. It's already long enough. So if you did make it this far, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and as always, I will see you all next time.